This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we are going to do a video about back roads in Arizona. There might actually have to be a part two for this. As you know, Arizona is a really big state and there's a lot of back roads. So if you're really into off-roading, 4x4s, getting off the beaten path, and you want to really explore some of the hidden gems of Arizona, this video is for you. So if you're new to this channel, hit subscribe and turn on that bell like that, hit all, and you get notified whenever we do these videos. So this one is a popular request. It's come in. You guys have asked me for this video, and that's why this one's coming. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and zoom out. This is Arizona. If you look at the map right here, you can see we've got a lot of ground to cover. This area down here is really beautiful, but that's Mexico, Chihuahua, Sonora, and Baja, Mexico, California del Sur, but we're going to focus on Arizona. So it's like, where do we really begin? Well, we'll start around Phoenix, Arizona, and we'll start with some areas pretty close that are within day drives, and then we'll expand out. So get your pen and paper ready. This one's going to be jam-packed with a lot of information and places for you guys to explore, especially in this time where we're in quarantine and we kind of can't really go to too many places where there's a lot of people. So maybe now's a good time to explore some of these places, but summer is coming up. So the first one that we're going to talk about is going to be out here in past Tonto Hills, okay? So you have this area right here. This is Desert Mountain, and you have Tonto Hills. You take this road right here out to Bartlett Lake. So there's a lake out here called Bartlett Reservoir. It's a really popular reservoir. A lot of people with these off-road vehicles, whether it be ATVs or who knows what they got, dirt bikes. This area right here is really popular. By the way, before I go on any further, some of these areas do require permits. So be sure if you pick any of these that you check and see if there's a permit required to go there. So Bartlett Lake, up Bartlett Lake here is going to be Horseshoe Reservoir. Well, if you pull out a little bit further and you come into these areas, you go upstream a little bit, you come up to this place called Sheep Bridge. This is on the Verde River. So if you get a chance, go up here and explore just past Horseshoe Lake, okay? Google hasn't even gone up there yet, but you go up in here, it's up the Verde, you got Sheep Bridge, and another place that's really popular with people is this place called Seven Springs. Let me see if I can get Seven Springs pulled up here. It's pretty nice up here. You can camp out there. There we go. So this is Seven Springs out here. And they got a campground, like I said. It's called Seven Springs Wash. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to go out here. We used to catch crawdads and all that. So this is just a really nice high desert place to explore out in, it's the Tonto Forest, okay? It's within striking distance if you're in Phoenix, okay? And this is towards Bartlett Lake and Horseshoe Lake and Bartlett Lake, okay? Now, if we go to the other side here, you're at Lake Pleasant. You go up I-17 right here, and you come to this place called the Bumble Bee. The Bumble Bee is a road that you take and you go towards, you can basically drive all the way up to Prescott from here. But when you get on the Bumble Bee, right here, it's called Bumble Bee. It's off I-17, just past Black Canyon City. There's a mountain range right here. It's called the Bradshaw Mountains. You can actually go up here, and there's a couple campsites, and you can see Phoenix from up here. I mean, this is pine country. So up here, I told you guys there is a place called Crown King. It's really small. But, it's one of those places where you blink, you can miss it. There's not a lot of people up here. But Crown King, check it out, okay? Let me see if they've got any sort of information on Crown King. You can see these guys with these off-road vehicles. They go up here. Bradshaw City's up here. And then if you go over here, there is some campgrounds. Let me see if I can get pull up on the... Okay, so Horseshoe Basin. There's a couple campgrounds over here. There's Hazlitt Hollow. You can see, I mean, this is some real pine country, not too far, right outside of Phoenix, up in the mountains, up in the Bradshaw Mountains. Plenty of pines up there. And this is Horse Thief Basin, Turney Gulch, campground right here. So lots of pines, and I'll show you. I mean, this is Black Canyon City, and here's the Bradshaws. For those of you who live in Anthem, look how close it is to you. I mean, right here is Lake Pleasant. It's just up the mountain in those mountains if you look off to the northwest. Okay, so exploring there. Now, in between Seven Springs or Horseshoe and the Bradshaws is this area up in here. Okay, so this area up in here, right here, It's like Bloody Basin. There's a lot to explore right in here. And they do call it Bloody Basin. You can go up in here. Let's see. So you got Pine Mountain. And this is actually high country, but they got the Agua Fria National Monument. This is just back roads. You would just before you get to Cortez Lake. So let's see, if we wanted to get to Fossil Creek, which is another place that you're going to want to explore, you're going to go. The only way to get there is off I-17, and then you take, I think it's called Dugas Road. So you got to take Dugas Road to get there from I-17 to get to Fossil Creek. But you can see Fossil Creek is quite the spectacular place. It's got these those caves and everything that you can explore all around there. It's a hot spring, and they actually have another hot spring. You do need a permit for Fossil Creek, though, by the way. Now, right here you have Verde Hot Springs. So this is along the Verde River right here. You can see these people that go in here, and they swim. It's a little bit backcountry out here, like I said. I mean, it's real Arizona right back in here. So if you get a chance, just check it out. Out here, you also have roads, back roads, the Verde River. Like I said, people have been known to float the Verde River all the way down from up here, Camp Verde, down into Phoenix. So they float this this river all the way down. And so right here, Strawberry, this is another area that you can explore. The way you get here is through the Bee Line. So you got to take the Bee Line up here. That's right here. You'll see it's called the Bee Line. Not to be confused with the Bumble Bee on the other side. And so up in here, you have a lot of different places to explore. And I really recommend exploring from Payson. You can go to the Mogollon Rim. This is about a 2-hour drive from Phoenix. And then from Payson to Strawberry right here, you have some really beautiful countryside right in here. It's dramatic. I mean, it's awe-inspiring, right? The drive up here to Payson is quite awe-inspiring. And then you get really high up here and you come up into the Mogollon Rim. Now, if you want to do some real backcountry exploring in the Pines kind of area, you're going to go up into here, into the Mogollon Rim. It's one of my favorite places to just escape in nature. I mean, it's really big sky country up there. And you can see how close it is to Phoenix. Here's Phoenix, and then here's the Mogollon, right? And then, so we're still within striking range to Phoenix, okay? And then another area that people like to explore that's a little bit more desert type, and I'm going to recommend this road. It's along the, let's see here. There's Verde Hot Springs. Let me see here. There's Miami right here. So you're going to go up. There's an area right here called Tortilla Flat, okay? I hope you guys are writing this down. So far you have explore the Bumble Bee Highway. It's a dirt road. It'll take you all the way to Prescott, or you can go the other direction to Crown King. So write those down. The other side is out in the Tonto National Forest. That's going to be where Seven Springs is, Bartlett Lake, Sheep's Crossing, and the Horseshoe Dam. There's 2 dams up there, Bartlett Dam and Horseshoe Dam, okay? Now, this one that I'm talking about is different. This is out there by Canyon Lake on the Salt River. So the stuff that I was showing you in the first part of the river, video was the Verde River. So this being the Salt, there's Tortilla Flat here, and you could take this all the way up. This is a back road entrance, and it takes you all the way up to Theodore Roosevelt Lake. This is the big lake at the top of the Salt River. So right around here, you're going to have a place like this. This is the Tonto National Monument. Pretty cool stuff, right? Not too far outside of Phoenix. I mean, if you took this road right here, this 88, I don't even think Google's little guy will go down there. Let me see. Let me see if I can get Google's little guy to go down there. Oh, wow. They've been off-roading. Google. Look at this. They really went off-roading. See? It's dirt road out here. I'm amazed that Google went out here. So this is a really cool, this is a good one for a starter. This is a starter's journey right here. Bumble Bee is too. So what I'm saying, it's definitely off-road. It's dirt road, but it's like graded. It's pretty well maintained. It's not out of this It's not that rough. Although there are points in there that are pretty sketchy. So you have Apache Lake. This is all Salt River, you can see. So the Salt River tributary is up here, right? But there's a place over here. If you go this way, you come up into Tonto Basin and this place called Pumpkin Center. And that's still part of Tonto National Park. And then over here, as you go up, you come up into Payson, right? So that's how you get to the Mogollon. But these are different days. Like the day that you do that drive from Phoenix to Roosevelt Lake and back, that's like a day trip, okay? Then there's another place out here that a lot of people like to explore. This old country town called Globe, Miami. So it starts right here. This is an old mining town, okay? It's kind of a ghost town, actually. I don't know why they wouldn't call it a ghost town, but maybe if you call it a ghost town, the people that live there might not agree. But it used to be a boom town. Miami, so this is, you can see on the sides here how it looks, okay? They got a lot of mining quarries that are shut down, but this is they did a lot of mining out here, okay? But you can see kind of some of the mining remnants right there, and yeah. So let's see here. So this is Miami. You got Globe over here. It's a really small town. It's maybe a place to stop and get a burger, you know? Stop and get some food. Maybe, but there's not even too much accommodation here. It's not really a resort. Looks like they do have Arizona's best inn, so they're America's best inn. So they have at least something there, you know? And then, so this is just the stuff within the striking distance to Phoenix if you want to get out of town for a little bit in the Phoenix metro area. Now, I can show you guys in another video if you want some stuff around Tucson to explore. You know, you would have, or I can do it all in this video actually. If you guys haven't already liked the video, please like it and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy these videos. That'll encourage me to keep making them, by the way. That's if no one's giving me the signals, how do I know to keep giving all this information, you know? But out here, there's Tombstone, right? So on a day trip from Phoenix or Tucson, probably you're coming from Phoenix, I would imagine, because people from Tucson, they've already been here. You're going to do a trip down here. You're going to go Benson, Tombstone, Bisbee, right? And if you wanted to get real aggressive, you could probably even head down towards Nogales. Well, there's Douglas right there. Nogales is over here. So you got Nogales right on the border, Naco, Agua Prieta, well, Douglas, okay? You can always see on those border towns, Mexico is going to have the bigger side of the city, okay? But actually, I would say on a day trip from Phoenix, you'd probably do Bisbee. Let me take you down here to Bisbee real quick. This is another mining town. I mean, look at this. Turquoise comes from here. You can see they've torn it up. I'm just showing you the mine. You can see this was a big old mine right here. Look at that. That's out in Bisbee. It's on the side of the road. Goodness, man. You go through Bisbee on the way to New Mexico and stuff too. But you know, out here that's a pretty good area to explore. So Bisbee, Tombstone, you know, they've got that reenactment of OK Corral. A lot of history down there. Tombstone and Bisbee were some of the big towns. You know, you had back in the old days of Arizona, it wasn't Tucson, it wasn't Phoenix, it was Bisbee, Jerome, Tombstone, Globe, Prescott. Those were like the big boom towns. And then, so around here, you also have another drive from Tucson. You can go up here to Mount Lemmon. Okay, this is a pretty cool drive. It's actually paved. Let me take you down here, show you guys around what Mount Lemmon looks like. This is right outside of Tucson. Pretty nice, huh? I mean, look how lush that looks. Some of you guys are like, hey, that reminds me of Colorado. That reminds me of New Hampshire. Well, it's high elevation, you know. It's really high elevation up there. So that's Mount Lemmon. That's a day trip from Phoenix for sure. I mean, you just wake up at 7, you leave home, leave out of Peoria, say, at 7 a.m., and by the time you get to Tucson, it'll be 9 a.m. By the time you get up to Mount Lemmon, it'll be 11 a.m. You spend about 4 or 5 hours up on Mount Lemmon, or you camp. Lots of camping up here. And there's actually quite a bit of, there's a ski resort up here, Mount Lemmon Ski Valley. But there's also a lot of waterfalls down here in Tucson. I mean, if you're living in Phoenix, you go to Tucson. There's the seven waterfalls. Let's see here. There's Tanque Verde has some waterfalls up here. There's the here in Tanque Verde, you can see there's a couple waterfalls for you to hike up to. There's Tanque Verde Falls, you know, right here. Pretty cool waterfall, good hike. You know, it always works to go cool off somewhere, right? And then you have Bridal Wreath Falls. You have just a few different waterfalls in this area around Tanque Verde, and then you have some over in Sabino Canyon, the Seven Cataracts, Windy Point Vista. You know, just exploring Mount Lemmon is like a 1 to 2 day deal, but you can do it in an afternoon if you leave early enough and come home at night. Anyway, so zooming back out here, there is a waterfall that I forgot to mention, Cibecue Falls. It's really a nice one. Let me show you this 360 view thanks to Google Maps here. Look at this. It's a heck of a hike. This is out there in the Tonto National Forest. So that's on your way towards, well, I wouldn't go so far. It's off of Highway 60, so on the way to Show Low. There's another one, Workman Creek Falls. It's kind of close to Phoenix. Look at that one. Kind of nice up there. Okay, that's up above Roosevelt Lake. They're all above Roosevelt Lake, kind of up there by Fort Apache, actually. And then you have the Water Wheel, which is it's actually a pretty good hike out there. There's the Water Wheel itself, and that's a good hike. That's kind of out there by Strawberry Pine, Payson, up in that area. Now, if you go all the way out to the other side of town, you're going to come up into places like Pine Top, Lakeside, Show Low, and whatnot. But beyond that, you have Grand Falls. These are way up there in northern Arizona. You can see this big waterfall right here. Look at that. Especially when it's going. I mean, it's not always going, but that's out there by Page, kind of out there by it's on the Little Colorado River, actually. So that's some backcountry exploring that you guys can do. And then if you want to go out into the Navajo Nation, they have a place called Canyon de Chelly. Write that one down. That one, if you can get up into Canyon de Chelly, I don't know what the permit situation looks like. It looks like it's spelled Canyon de Chelly, but Canyon de Chelly is amazing. My goodness, this place is unreal, and it's different. It's not the Grand Canyon, so it's another canyon here in Arizona, but it's out there in the Navajo Nation. You could see no towns, no cities really near there except for Chinle, and you could blink and miss Chinle if you drove by it. It's kind of close towards New Mexico, actually. So if you get a chance, go out there to the Navajo Nation and check out Canyon de Chelly. That's a real doozy spot to check out. And then obviously you guys know about all the waterfalls down there in the Grand Canyon. There's so many of them. You couldn't even name them. You'd have to do your own video on just waterfalls in the Grand Canyon. But they're all along the Colorado. You can see the Grand Canyon actually has the Skywalk, which is a lookout point people go to. So when you go there, you can like look over. Scary if you're scared of heights. And you can see. So down here you have the area called Havasupai, the Hualapai Indian Reservation. But the waterfalls that people like to go to are in Havasupai. And so there's a few down there, but you have to have a permit. And actually, ecotourism or tourism has actually kind of ruined the place. But you could see, you guys know the spot. You guys know the spot. I mean, it's like out of a dream world down there, right? But that's at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. That's Havasupai Indian Reservation down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and people really love going there. But you have to get a permit. Another place to explore in far north is Kaibab National Park, or Kaibab Plateau, Kaibab National Forest. It's on the north rim though, so that's far northern Arizona. Definitely out there by Page. If you go out there, you might as well end up going to Utah, Zion National Park, and this lake right here, Lake Powell. Lake Powell is right there on the border, but it's quite the interesting spot. So, like I said, I mean, there's so many different places to explore. I mean, I couldn't even touch on them. This would have to be like a 3 hour long video to really dial it in. I mean, but in summary, these are the ones to explore: the Bumble Bee, the Beeline, that road that goes up to Roosevelt Lake, Seven Springs, Verde River, Bloody Basin, Crown King, Mount Lemmon. Hope you guys wrote all these down. I mean, if you got your list ready, this is jam packed with adventure. I mean, the stuff that I gave you here. You're gonna go to these places and you're gonna need to keep going back because you're not gonna see it all in one go. I mean, that's how much action there is around here. Okay. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. I also put affiliate links below for the stuff that I wear when I go out, in case you guys are looking for that stuff. So we'll see you on the next one.